innately I think people are, that we're a community, we're a communal group of people. We might not have many outlets to have a shared experience, and I think the cinema does provide that for people without any sort of direct communication with one another. I think it's a pretty powerful experience when 200 people all enjoy the same film and they laugh and have the same jokes and maybe cry at the same moments. Or I think that it touches one in a way maybe that they can't really articulate. I guess my passion for film comes from when I moved out to the Bay Area and was introduced to a whole host of different kinds of programming that I wasn't experienced with. I got to know Craig Baldwin, who runs this fantastic weekly series there called Other Cinema out of the ATA. Also, getting to see, Dr. Strangelove 2001 on 35mm and Castro Theater is quite spectacular. So yeah, it just kind of developed from there. I'm interested in providing an experience for folks that is different than the multiplex that they get there. I like people to experience something in a different way. Prior to our arrival, this space was used as an event rental space slash movie theater, and the walls were white. The screen was very tiny and recessed very far back on the stage. There were acoustic issues where you couldn't hear dialogue at times, especially with movies that had loud, sound effects. The seating was less than desirable. Sightlines were an issue because there were no risers. So basically, we came in here, me and this 80-year-old man, and we built risers, we installed seats, we put in a new screen, we hired this old timer to put the fabric up on the walls that you see around us, and we added quite a bit of acoustic tile on the back wall of the balcony so the sound doesn't bounce too much. Obviously added tables. And yeah, it's a totally different experience. I think that that's one of the hurdles that we've had in opening in this space is the prior experience was less than desirable. And there's a bit of stigma attached to it. And also another hurdle I think was that a lot of people don't even know that this had been used as a movie theater space for the past 3 years. So it's changing people's movie-going habits. That's also a challenge, definitely.
Tim and I, it's really goofy. We met working behind the concession stand at the San Marco Theater. I totally remember it precisely. And we talked for years and years and years about, gosh, working at a movie theater is super fun, but it would be really cool to be doing it for ourselves and have an idea in our heads of how we want things to be and get it as close to that as possible. The food and concessions are probably one of my favorite elements of developing the theater, was developing the food and concessions. In fact, when we first opened, we were opening without a kitchen. We had a couple of months where we were kind of in limbo building the kitchen, and I focused a good deal of my efforts on building a popcorn fixins bar that had all kinds of delicious stuff, so even your popcorn would be a little bit different than what you would expect at a regular movie theater. And very early on, I had people coming and saying, now when I go to the multiplex, I really want curry on my popcorn. And I think that's one of my favorite things about this place. I hear really good stories working in this movie theater because it has such a history in the community. It's been open since 1927. So I have little 90-year-old ladies come in and tell me about how they would make out with their boyfriends in the balcony when they were 15 years old. I love those stories. I absolutely love them. And then, it took on so many forms. It was a movie theater in 27, but then it was a nightclub, so I hear some stories that I cannot repeat. Really kind of, salty stories about this space. It's got a lot of history, and now it has our hands on it too, and that's a neat thing.